Okay, turn that down. Let's go over here and turn on YouTube. Bum, 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 bum. I am live, I am sure. Let's see. Your channel. Ooh, look at that. My new banner is up. Huh. The new banner is up. There we go. Okay, the sound is there. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's go back to Safari. We're doing some scans. Let me scroll all the way down to the bottom. Then I got to test GarageBand. So you guys are in for a little scans. We'll check on GMed, BNGO. What else did we do over this week? REI. Let's check on TQQQ. Let's check on Boyle. RMed. Let's check on RMed. The other one that I want to look at is, God, where's that? It's MLCO. Because that's the China one. I think energy's turning. I was just writing my notes, James. I think energy's turning. Good morning. I think I was just looking at Boyle. Here, hold on. Before I start doing my scans. BNGO I was looking at. But here's Boyle. I think it's turning up. I think it's time. I mean, you can see it lost its confirmation yesterday. But then it really got it back. And usually in the afternoon, Boyle doesn't do anything. I mean, all these commodities at 2:30 when oil closes and stuff, it just doesn't do anything. But look at the volume. The volume's pretty good. And let's look at a 5-day, 5-minute. Because look, the volume's starting to pick up. You can clearly see more green here than red. So I'm guessing we're good on Boyle. But if we go back to Safari, I was looking at Apple too to see how far this shit's going to fall. Look, you got the button hook here. And you've got a gap up here all the way to 34. So if you buy at 30, I mean, God. Devin, man, you may have timed it perfectly. I will tell you got lucky as fuck. But you may have timed it perfectly. Okay, let me, instead of going through this, I'm going to go to scanner. If you are part of the day ones or the hardcores, you'll know the scans. I had a couple of people hit me up yesterday on TrendSpider. Is the TrendSpider deal still going on? No, it's not going on. I have to figure out how my webcam can follow me, because I heard that's part of the new Macs. But on this program, I don't know if it will or if it's just FaceTime that it actually works on. But if you're on TrendSpider, essentially right now I'm scanning to see if there's cross-ups in the core investment group. I am working on more watch groups for you guys who signed up for TrendSpider. If you haven't signed up for TrendSpider, the link is in the description below, and you use DSP, Daily Stock Picks 25, and you'll get 25% off. And you can join us on some of the watch lists and the scans and things of that sort. We went over all the spider sectors yesterday, and to see if any of them scanned up. If you want access to the spider list, just let me know. Hit me up. And is Cooper. Yeah. Haha. Cooper, you're on. Or should I say, Bruce Wayne. Douche. Love it. Love it. And who has Instagram but not Facebook? They're tracking you on both, Cooper. You know they're tracking you on both. Let's see. What sectors are up? Wow. There's a lot of green on the sector list today. And the garbage people showed up early. Good. The only thing I have to look forward to are the lawn people showing up now. Wow, nothing in ARK crossed up yesterday. Now I'm going to the Dow Jones 30. See if anything crossed up. Nope. I'm going to take a look at some energy stocks, some of the typical ones that I look at too. Where's my NASDAQ 100? There it is. Nothing in the Dow 30. Wow. Kraft Heinz. I got an alert yesterday, by the way. Yeah, I get it, Cooper. Plus, Facebook sucks. I'm a boomer. I'm supposed to be into Facebook, but when your Uncle Bob starts screaming about politics, I do poke the bear with my family, though. My family, the majority of my family, I would say, leans liberal, probably some extreme liberal, and I have a couple of cousins who are Trump supporters, and I'll start the dinner conversation on Facebook and say, let's talk about politics more at the dinner table. KHC is an interesting one. Kraft Heinz. I mean, all of these consumer staples, you can see it's using the 200-day as support. It's got these gaps down here below the 200-day. You're building a pretty good. Let's pull this back here. I'm going to pull that back to the highs. Yeah, look at that volume shelf right there between 37 and 38. You're at 39. But God. Okay, let me look at the weekly. I'm going to look at the daily. There's your ascending triangle. That's a nice move. God, why didn't we look at that one? NASDAQ 100. How Kraft Heinz is in the NASDAQ 100, I don't know. We're going to do the S&P 100. KHC. And it's up 0.28. Let's go to energy. This is Travel Center America. Man, that crosses up every freaking day. Ramco, NCSM. God. Let's see. I'll look at REI in a second. DRN. DRV. Ooh. Hey, DRV. Look at the button hook. Let's start strategy tester. Go to this. We're still in at 53, even though you're trading at 51. Is it breaking through? Hold on. How can you guys see that? Let me see how full screen looks. I'll look at Shell for you, Crypto Man. Your job, Crypto Man, is to tell us which boxes are in your truck. I'm trying to see. I'm looking. There's a little delay on YouTube Live, but how does? It looks pretty good. Full screen looks pretty good. You can see it. Interesting. You can't see the MACD and stuff like that down below, but that's an interesting one. Maybe I should. There's got to be a better setting on OBS to take a look at this. Crypto, you retracted the message just to say please. That's classic. Let's look at Shell. Oh, you got an ascending triangle. But you do have, God, look at that. Let me look at it full screen. You've got, where is there is the volume. Let's pull this over to here. I don't know that it's going to make a whole hell of a lot of difference. Take a look at that one. I mean, God, 49. It's not a huge move. I mean, it looks bigger than it actually is. But you got gaps all over the place. You got this gap here between 54 and 55.69. It's lost. Here's the big thing, crypto man. UPS man, what Brown can do for you. But you've got this cross, okay? Essentially, I look at that 9-day. And when it gets below that 9-day, I worry. Doesn't mean that it's going to continue to go down. But when it's below that 9-day and the 9-day is crossing the 21, kind of worries me about a little bit. Take a look at that one. The 9-day crossed. Here's a good one. Okay. This is similar to what we're seeing right now. Look at this. August 29th, 9-day kind of crosses down. You see it kind of fight. It's using the 200-day as its that red line right there. It's using that as kind of a resistance level. So it's below that. So it's, it is what it is. But then you get this huge just drop. And that's when you started to go back up. But I would say with the volume shelf right here about 52 and the 200-day right at 52, if you're trading this one, yeah, I'd take a little off. I mean, here's the thing, and this is the killer about energy, and I'll bring it up. I heard it on CNBC yesterday. Energy makes no sense. Oil makes no sense. We are in a supply issue. Oh, fucking Kevin O'Leary. What a douche, man. This guy's on with his gold jewelry, and he's smart. But the guy was a FTX pusher. And he got on yesterday and said, I'm happy that none of my fiduciary clients lost money. Well, what about all the people who listened to you and got into FTX and put their money in there? He says, well, I lost money on this. What a douche. I just don't like him. Okay, let me scan the energy sector real quick. Or I did that already. Did I really only get one scan up? Oh, I'd have to add in Hershey. HSY. Because that's one that I got an alert on. 235. Kind of went over it. I think I went over it. I think Jesse was the one who asked about that. Crypto man. I guess douche is against the language. I had to allow the comment. I guess it's against the YouTube rules. How am I going to do notes? Am I going to do it on my iPhone? If you could, yes. There's a package on my front door. Hold on one second. In Atlanta. I didn't order anything. Somebody was nice and sent me something. No, I don't want fall detection. Oh, and it's raining. Holy crap, my bushes need to be trimmed. Security, activity. Let's see who dropped off a package. It was dark. Darkness, darkness. Ooh. Oh, that's the nanny. The nanny's there. I've got neighbors who use my driveway for their nanny. Ugh, okay. I'm done looking. Trim that bush, man. Trim that bush. I'm telling you, I hate doing yard work. I mean, I love it, but I actually hate it. Okay, what am I gonna do? Oh, you know what I wanted to look at? XLF. You know, I'm gonna look at Bank of America too. BAC. I think BAC and Wells Fargo might be buys. XLF. See, it just got you out with a 10% gain. And I want to add Goldman Sachs on there too, because the sector's not good. But let me see. I'm going to go to my brokerage holdings. Look at that. Again, any reaction in the market is an overreaction. You get out with a 16% gain on Bank of America, and all of a sudden you're back to kind of close to where you bought it at 31. I mean, what happened in that month? Did things all of a sudden become way greater? Yeah, Zephan, if you hit 120, I expect a big fucking tip on that one. I expect monthly support checks for the next 4 years. But Bank of America was a good one. Let's look at Wells Fargo. Oh, and you got outside of that. What? See? Wells Fargo, same thing. It broke the 200-day, so I don't know where the bottom is, but look at the RSI and the MACD down there. Look at that RSI. It's a great one. Tom did some research too. UBT. This is an ultra ETF on 20-year Treasury. Look at that move. Let me see. Does this pay? I think it pays a dividend too. Let me see. Does UBT pay a dividend? It does. Wow. Let me see if this has the yield. Dividend history. Doesn't have the yield, but it looks like it pays out every quarter. Every quarter. So it's coming up. And a 45 cents. Wow, that one's a good one. Check out the move in this. I had to show that one, Zephan. I'll tell you. Okay, since we're talking about targets, I'll tell you a target on BOIL. Let's look. If you're trading BOIL and you bought it, say at 30, traditionally I'll tell you 33 should be your target. But I think that gap to 35, 32, I think you're probably good going to 35. But I would say, Zephan, because it's triple levered, you don't know what's going to happen. O'Leary's agreed to testify at the Senate hearing. What a douche. if you do have some profits in this, remember it just moves so quick. And we're today's Thursday. It's Thursday. So, yeah. The package was not even for my address. It's probably okay. Yeah, I think 3:30. Cologuard. Shit boxes. Okay, crypto UPS man, disgusting question. Has any of those ever leaked in your truck? I mean, that would be my question. I'm trying to get the camera right on this thing. I probably have to make it larger. I don't know how to do it. What I am going to do is it probably in my I have my, let me see, Cologuard company owner. Let's see. Kevin Conroy. Who is Cologuard? Owned by Exact Services Corporation, EXAS. Let's take a look. This is okay. Exclusive. This is how you investigate companies. 4538 on the algorithm. The algorithm loses you 61%. Buying and holding loses you 65%. You have 40 positions. You win 23% of the time. Your average win is 10%. So it's a good trading stock. EXAS. Let's look at them. And I got to get my hat out. I've got a beanie as my microphone softener. It gets in the way. So they're not making money. They're down 41% year to date. They just had a downgrade from Craig Halliam, buy to hold $35 price target. Breast cancer treatment with 10-2 new data presentations. Yeah, I don't know if I'd invest in this one. So here's their price to sales is 4. So it's kind of expensive. They're expected to grow 36% this year, 27% next year. They don't have a 5-year projection. 52-week high is 87. You're 47% off that. 56% above your 52-week low. So it was down here at 30. Let's see if, you know what? Let me see if, while I'm thinking about it, so the double bottom didn't actually hit an REI. Usually what happens is FinViz will put this in. Thank God for that, Crypto Man. I got to tell you what, there was one time I was running, and this was in Florida, and I still remember it to this day. But I'm running, and I was on a golf course. I lived on a golf course, and they were doing some construction, so they had to have a porta potty outside. And I'm running, and for some reason, I didn't see the guy picking up the porta potty and putting it into his truck, and it jostled around, and the door swung open. And some of the splash, it wasn't a lot, but I definitely felt some water on my back. It was horrible. Let's see. Let me see if the algorithm. James, you got TrendSpider, don't you? It still hasn't gotten you out from that 273 buy. Although it should have. Oh, it did. It did on the next candle. I was wrong. You know, I've chased these before, by the way. I think so. I hope so. I'm still holding Exxon. Look at the loss of it. you're gonna button hook today. So Exxon, I have it in my notes. They just announced their next year's spending, and next year's spending is going up, so they should be able to drill more or refine more. I'm sorry, Exxon, the refiner. They're up 2%. It's at 106. Let's see. Snowflake is up. We can take a look at Snowflake. I still like this stock, man. Even though it's expensive. Shopify. I think Shopify, it turned down once it hit 40. I think that one's going probably back to the 200-day at 34. QCLN that I talked about, it lost its mojo. PayPal is up 1%. Oxy's up 2%. I think you're starting to get oil turning a little bit. That's my take on it. I own GOOGL. Google finally got you out from this $88. Let's see if GOG got you out too. I gotta put in more scans for, I'm gonna put in more scans for exits as well. That's probably a good idea. Got you out with a 7% gain, which could have been 10%. I don't consider it a trading stock. Okay. Why does this, you know what? We're going to have to put that like that. Okay. That's a little bit better. Then you're not going to hear as much. Okay. Oh, the other one that I wanted to look at. Why am I doing my whole podcast for you guys right now? McDonald's. Look at McDonald's setting up that shelf. Still think you've got 260 on a downturn. They passed their ex-dividend date. Wow, look at that. 13% gain for the algorithm. McDonald's isn't bad. I mean, here's the thing. Over 1,000 candles, you got 17% gain. You know what the other one that really has done well in the CMG, in the food space, just got you out with a 4% gain. It's using that 200-day. I don't think it's going back to that. I don't know. I mean, look, you're under the 200-day. You got a gap here between 1,300. You still have this gap down here that hasn't been filled. So, okay, I'm going to start the podcast. I got 16 people watching. If you're new, thank you for joining us. If you like what you hear, hit the thumbs up. Honestly, it's funny because I think a lot of new people come on and they don't exactly know what's going on. But here's the overview of this. What you're seeing on the screen is TrendSpider. I trade with TrendSpider. I have an algorithm that I use. What you're seeing here is Active Trader Pro from Fidelity. I use these two programs along with FinViz to find entries and exits into stocks. I record my daily podcast every day. We are 28 minutes in. And essentially, I just go over some notes and some things. Wrong name, wrong address. I'm telling my neighbor. This is funny. So the package that was delivered, by the way, he says, it's the wrong name, wrong address. Do you want me to open it? I said, it's up to you. I didn't take it off a porch and commit a federal crime. That's you. Love it. Love it. I love my neighbors. Okay, we're 30 minutes in. I'm going to start this podcast, I think. What am I going to start out with? We're going to start out with... I don't have much. Okay. Good morning. It's Thursday, December 8th. I actually forgot it was Thursday. I've been on YouTube now for a half hour, kind of just shooting the shit with everybody. I don't have much in things to go over today, but I'm sure I'll still talk for a half hour at least. There are some stocks that went up, some stocks that we're kind of taking a look at, things that we're following. And my new MacBook, which I absolutely love. If I haven't mentioned how much I love this new MacBook, I love this new MacBook. But here, let's kind of go over energy. Let's start with energy. Exxon and Chevron, they released some of their spending plans for next year, and both are up. You're kind of getting the start of a button hook at the bottom. Exxon, which I'm showing on the screen right now, my guess is that if you have more downside, it's only to the 200-day, which is 99. I heard this on CNBC yesterday, and it's what I feel. Energy makes no sense. You are entering into a supply side issue. The supply side issue is you've got European sanctions, you've got the OPEC cutting their production, and you've got China opening up. All of that converges into we're gonna have supply issues. It's a fact. Even the Biden administration that allows now Chevron to refine Venezuelan oil, that is an indication they know we're going to have supply side issues. You have no more you do have emergency reserves, but God, he's going to take up such a political hit if he goes into that one again. He's got to refill it. I mean, honest to God, at 73, I'd probably be refilling it at this point, but he wants it at 65. They put it out there that they will start refilling it at 65. Nobody's taking the bait because you can sell it on the free market for 73. So you are going to have supply side issue. So at the worst, I would say you have this downside here, and you can see on the Exxon chart, you've got 98 to 99 right there. You have a gap, and it's right where the 200-day is. With it moving up, it's up 2.27% to $106 per share. With that, I would think that if you wanted to time something, I think you're looking at a fairly good time, because I do think that energy continues to move. Peru on Twitter, I follow him, and he's continuing to say it makes no sense that XLE is at 52-week highs, and you have oil down at 73, and it's like 30%, 40% off of its 52-week highs. So he's saying it makes no sense. I'm kind of saying, hey, energy is probably going to continue to perform because there's nothing else in this market that is a supply side issue. So XOM, the algorithm doesn't have you in. It has you out. CVX is one that has you it has you out as well. And when you look at this one, it just got you out at 23% run from 148 up to around 180. You're trading at 172 in the pre-market. I think it's up at 175. I don't own this one, so I don't really see the after hours on this one. I don't have it on watch list. I need to add that watch list. But you do have the 9-day under. It doesn't have confirmation yet, but if you're looking for a downside, I would say 165, where the 200-day is probably your downside. Again, I don't know that we would necessarily time this one, but it looks good. And so I would say that energy comes back into play. We can look at some of the energy names that we've looked at in the past. Fang is one. It's touching the 200-day. It's kind of just below it. It's just touched it. So Fang is a great one. Great dividend. PXD, which has like an 11% dividend just past the ex-dividend date. It's below the 200-day, and it started to turn up. PXD, the RSI is at 35. So I think you've got opportunities here. You know, we can also look at Venom or Viper. I always call it Venom just because of the symbol. You're using the 200-day as support. It got you in at 32. It got you out with a slight loss. I don't know that I necessarily would have sold if I got in at 32, But I think anything just about, if you get a 30 handle on this one, not even a 31 handle, a 30 handle on this, I think it's good. So, energy in my mind, again, still a play. I own Devon. Devon Energy is up by, 2.5%. 65, I always say anything under 60, you buy this one all day long. Anything over 60, you can sell it whenever you want. I've been holding it ever since I think I got in at like 53 back here on this. I didn't sell it. I could have made a lot of money, 13, 20%, another 11%, plus the dividends. But you can see right after the dividend X date, it typically takes a turn down. Let's look at a longer chart. Pull this one back a little bit so we can take a look at that. There's the ex-dividend date, dips down. There's the ex-dividend date, dips down. There's the ex-dividend date, dip down a lot. There's the ex-dividend date, dip down a lot. Here's the ex-dividend date. Will it dip down or has it already dipped down? My theory, it's probably already dipped down. Your RSI is at 33. Another one that I own is Oxy. Me and Warren Buffett, not in the same realm, but it's broken through the 200-day. It's at 63. 65 was my kind of assumption. You've got the ex-dividend date coming up on December 8th, so it's today. It's a super small dividend. I think it's 1% or something. 0.81. So it's not huge. Not huge at all. It's up 120% this year. I continue to think that one would be up. But yeah, it's up 2%. So I think energy is still in play, especially with those guys saying, hey, we're going to raise our spending next year. Next, stocks that I wanted to look at were a couple of beaten down stocks in the financial sector. And Wells Fargo is one. This was one that kind of got beaten up on scandals. I think right before the pandemic, there were a bunch of scandals about their sales tactics and things of that sort. New CEO came in, has done really, really well for the stock, outside of just this year per se. But you're coming off a 5% run on this one, from 40 all the way up to 47. So, it got you out, around that. You got an ascending triangle, but you've lost everything and you're below the 200-day. I think if you get a 40 handle on this one, I think you take this. Just prediction, but again, you can take the RSI is at 28. The MACD is way, way down. At some point, this one starts to turn around and it starts to become just, hey, it's been beaten down too much. Now, with banks, what we look at is we look at that book value. And on FinViz, it's over here on the left. It's 41.13. That's why I'm saying, if you get a 40 handle on Wells Fargo, the actual book is worth more. So it's going to go up. Bank of America is another. It's a similar chart. Take a look at that one. Now, you've got 25 is the RSI on that one. And you see that MACD crossing down. And it got you, we're coming off a 16% run in Bank of America. Same thing. I think if you get a 30 handle on Bank of America, the book value is $29.65. I would be shocked if you get down to that. The PE is 10. The forward PE is 8. So it is expensive as far as bank goes, but it's best in class. Goldman Sachs is another one. We looked at this one way down here. Book value was 300. I think it's gone up a little bit with their most recent earnings. 307. So in my mind, if you get near that 307, the 200 days at 338, you're trading at 359 right now. You're just coming off a 20% run in this one. I think if you get down near that 300 on Goldman Sachs, I think you take it all day long. JP Morgan, same thing. You're starting to look at this one. You're coming off a 21% run. What's the book value on JP Morgan? The book value is 86. So you're well above this. You're at 132. But if you get down towards that 200-day at 120, I think you start to take a look at it. Again, if you like JP Morgan, I would say Bank of America and Wells Fargo present more of an trading opportunity, not long-term trading opportunity. Warren Buffett owns Bank of America, so I do think that one is probably a buy and hold if you're actually going to get into it. And if you get that 30 handle, you can make that determination if you want, whether you're going to buy and hold it or whether you're going to trade it. But Morgan Stanley, which I own at a much higher price, I think 103, 104, somewhere in that neighborhood, I'm still holding it. You're coming off an 8% gain. You've got this gap here, and my belief is that gap will get filled down to 84. But you do have an opportunity there. What the hell's going on outside my door? It was just huge bumps. Oh, dog's barking. Everything's fine. It was the ball. They're playing ball with the dog. Okay. Sorry about that. I heard huge bangs and things. Turns out my parents are playing ball with the dogs, and the ball bounced against there. So if you heard that, my apologies, but I heard a loud bang. I had to pause it. But Morgan Stanley is one, I own it. I would say Wells Fargo. Let's look at Citibank too, since we're talking about the big banks. Citi, it kind of used that 200-day as its sport level. Citi's got some debt issues. So let's see what the book value on Citi is. It's the shittiest of the banks. Shitty bank, as South Park people would say. It's shitty bank. The book value is 92. This one's trading at 45. I mean, it's always traded below for probably the past 10, 15 years below its book value. It's just bad. So I do think that between energy and financials, I think you have opportunity there. Again, we're looking at probably just a bounce in the market. It's been oversold. You've been down for 6 days now? It's got to bounce up. It's got to bounce up. Tom has brought up a couple of stocks to me, and he knows that I love the levered ETFs. And he has found a levered ETF to the 20-year Treasury, which bonds, if you haven't noticed, bonds have been going nuts. November 11th, the algorithm got you in at 23. This is 29. It's a 20% move in a bond fund. You should see, if you're not watching on YouTube, look at that MACD. I mean, that MACD is clear as day. Look at it soaring. I don't know that you necessarily want to get into this one right now. The RSI is at 77. It is so overbought at this point that it's got to come down. It's just crossing the 200-day. So if you look at a long-term one of this one, let me drag it a little bit longer. If we look at a long-term chart of this is a symbol. Why did I do that? Symbol UBT. I need to stop going into full screen like that. But UBT, take a look. It's a ski slope. I mean, it's honest to God a ski slope. So in my mind, bonds have just not been good. That's to December. Let's go to a weekly. If we go to a weekly, take a look at just the tumble this year in bonds. That's a triple levered bond fund for you. It's behind my head. Let me move this over. Stop. How do I move this over? TrendSpider, I gotta get out of there. That's the ski slope. So, yeah, UBT, great move on the current one, on the algorithm, currently at more than a 20% gain. So great find by Tom. The other one that Tom likes is NUGT. This is the gold miners. It's a bullish 2 times gold miners. If you look at this one, the entry was on November 7th at 26.57. You're at 35. Fantastic move on this. Just great. And you're up above the 200-day. The RSI is a little high. I would say it's a little bit oversold, but Tom likes this one for a long term. Another one that Tom brought up and that I think is good, AXSM. Those of you that don't know, Tom's a doctor. So he does know about biopharmaceuticals. This one has drugs for depression and Alzheimer's, and Tom thinks that it's going to move significantly. Now, you did have just this cross up at 72.78. That's right after gaps between 56 and 67. This is one that got some bump with another one that was being sold. I forget the name of it, but essentially, we were going to look at not necessarily the ones that were being bought, but I got to look at my notes. But if you go back and listen to a couple of episodes ago, you'll know which one I'm talking about. It just escapes me. But the MACD is probably crossing down here. It just got too much hype. My guess is you could probably buy this at the 200 day, which is $52. That would be my guess, that at some point in time, we see this one come back to 52. If I pull this back to here where we see, look, 52 is right there. You got a volume shelf right about 49. At the very least, you've got a volume shelf here at 62. It's starting to build this volume shelf up there. But Tom likes it. Tom thinks it's going to be volatile, but he does think you're looking at a pretty good opportunity there. I'll read you this email from Cooper. He signed up for Facebook and put it. Facebook denied him entry because he said his name was Bruce Wayne. You ain't no Batman, Cooper. Been picking up shares in software tech names that are hitting new or near 52-week lows. CRM, Snow, CYBR, and Zscaler, as I have to believe there is still going to be sizable demand once we get past the recession for these high-flying COVID boomer stocks, but hard to know. I'm probably holding anything I buy now for 2+ years, so not sure if your thesis to avoid these for now would be the same for looking for my time horizon as opposed to just trading them. Here's my take, and we'll take Snowflake. I personally own Snowflake at a much higher price. I think I'm in the 180s. I will probably dollar cost average my way. You're just getting out. There was a buy right after earnings at 151. You're down at 137. You've got a gap down here to 127. I will kind of do a video of how I buy long-term stocks versus how I buy medium-term stocks, between how I buy short-term stocks. And I'll do that video, kind of just do a screen recording of it and maybe edit it a little bit, maybe 3 videos. But essentially, for a 2+ year horizon, I would probably take a look at the algorithm and say, okay, where am I buying in? And I would take a long-term view. And the problem with Snowflake in particular is it just IPO'd, I think, last year, and it went up to 400. So you don't know where that base is. If we look at Snowflake and you look at the price to sales at 24, that's huge. Your forward PE is 289. So they have to grow their earnings in order to currently grow into the current valuation of 159. Say they, for some reason, can't grow their earnings, or their earnings drop, by half. Well, the price, the forward PE moves to 125, which is huge. A forward PE of 125 is still huge. If you go down to 125, that stock is cut in half. You're at 60, 50. So the possibility is there. There's a lot of people who like Snowflake. And so when you're buying into Snowflake, everybody's like hyping up, hey, this is the next Tesla. This is the next one that's going to move. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I like that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. For a 2+ year horizon on Snowflake, I think that forward PE is probably too rich in the market that we're currently in. I am holding at 183. It's a very small position. I will probably be loading in, but I'm looking more at a 5 to 10 year horizon on this one, because I think that they can grow into the way their contracts work. They start with smaller contracts, and the contracts grow with Snowflake. So their hope is that people actually expand. What happened with the last earnings, where you saw it kind of dip down and it's down at the price where it is, they actually didn't grow their contracts. as much as they were. So the expectation next year is that they're going to grow revenues by earnings per share, I should say, 126%. You're only 24% above your 52-week low of 110. I think 110 was a lucky place to get it. I think in my mind, if you can grab this in the 120s, I think you're doing well. I think you're doing good in the 130s. That doesn't mean that it's a for sure thing. It is expensive and they need to grow. Yeah, James says, don't put your eggs all in one basket like I did with Apple. Come on, man. They're building a car. Let's look at some of your others. CRM. CRM, same thing, by the way. And CRM is in crisis mode. Look at the PE. I mean, they're making money, but their PE is 471. Their forward PE, though, is 23. So what they're projecting is that it's only trading at 23 times. But that PE right now is 471. It's got no dividend. You are you're at your 52-week low. I would say this one still has room to go down. Benioff has the co-CEO leaving. There's been some rumors about some management people being upset, blah, blah, blah. You were buying this for Benioff's guidance, his management style, things of that sort. Hold on one second. I got to let the dog in. I hear the dog crying. Come on. Okay. Go on, you can go into bed. I love you. Okay, come here. I'll give you a hug. Yeah, I'm giving you a hug, okay? Okay, go into bed. Go. Okay. Okay, sorry. I paused the podcast. No, go over there. What do you want? I'm talking to the dogs. If I could pick up the camera and show you, I would. Okay, I'm going to start back up. So CRM, yeah, sorry, I had to get the dogs. I would choose Snowflake over CRM at this point in time just because management in CRM has an issue. Let's look at CYBR. Oh, well, before we do that, we'll go back over here to look at CRM. You're not buying into it. Don't time it. The RSI is at 31. It's just, the MACD's crossing down. I'd probably say wait for this to get down near the 120s. It's at, let me see, is it at all-time lows? Let's go back to a weekly to look at this. It's not at all-time lows, but you're back to COVID. I mean, essentially, you're back to 2020, where, we didn't know if the world was going to continue on. So, yeah. Let me look. The next one, CYBR. This is cybersecurity as well. I think you're right in, looking at CyberArk software. This one, it just got you out. It crashed down here. I'm not as familiar with this as Snowflake and stuff, but look at that MACD. I think this one you're probably looking at. Look at those bottoms right there. I mean, this is just 4-hour chart, but right there around 130, you're putting in pretty good bottoms between 130 and 140. Let's pull this back and see if we can get a little bit more clarity. I'm going to pull the volume shelf back here. Back to there. Let's see where we've got some volume shelves here. We got some volume shelves that'll pull you up between 148 and 150. But my guess is, let's go over to FinViz, CYBR. And you're looking, it's not making money. And by the way, look at that forward PE. 45,320. That's where you're getting killed. Robert Baird outperformed 182 as the price target in October. But that's where you're getting killed. That forward PE. Price to sales, 10 times price to sales. So, yeah, I that one I would worry about. Zscaler, they're the one. I think they're the largest, one of the largest, or one of the fastest growing cybersecurity. Their forward PE is 68. This is one I have Palo Alto Networks and CrowdStrike instead of Zscaler. It's a similar chart on all of these stocks. I just, honest to God, I don't know how a company is not spending on cybersecurity and increasing their cybersecurity spend, but they're not. It's clear as day in recently that this is using the 200-day as its support resistance level. You're trading at 114. I would think at some point in time this comes back up to the 200-day if we have cyber attacks and things. So yeah, 157. And if we go to Zscaler, let's look at what the monkeys say. The monkeys say Redburn December 1st, neutral, $135 price target. They're at 114. So I think you're doing things right. I think your time horizon is wrong. I think if you're looking for 2 years with the current state of interest rates, of bonds, of things of that sort, I think your time horizon should be more towards the 5-year, maybe between 2 and 5, because I think next year is going to be tough. They're going to bring down some of the S&P earnings. You will get hurt. And then the following year, I think you start to see some growth put back in. And I think that's where you're looking. By the way, BOIL at $30. It just crossed the ticker. One that I like, I was showing on YouTube before I came on to record the podcast, is McDonald's. Look at that ascending triangle that TrendSpider puts in for you. 237 was the buy on October 4th in the algorithm. Just got you out with a 13% gain. And you still have some confirmation with this triangle. Now, the gap down here between 259 and 261 is above the 200-day, so it worries me. You have a volume shelf building up here at 270, so you may have some tightness. If you dip down below, I would say the 267 mark, I think you're going back down to the 262 and stuff. This is a long-term play. You can actually use this as a long-term play. McDonald's is a great company. If you guys have ever done road trips, I mean, McDonald's is kind of the go-to. It's 2.25% dividend. October 28th, Raymond Baird outperformed. 288 is the price target. 295 is the price target. All of these October, price targets, 274, 272, they're all up above where we are today. Now, the 52-week high on this one is 281. So you're only 4% below your 52-week high. So you don't have a significant amount of growth. It is expensive. It's at 34 PE. The forward PE is 25. But McDonald's came up as just one that I wanted to bring up. Sabuj on YouTube brings up a good point. When I talk about TOL, Toll Brothers, DRV and DRN are not the equivalent because they are REITs. They are looking more at the real estate sector, not home builders. The home builders ETF is NAIL. And this is the directional home builders NAIL. And we talked about home builders yesterday with Toll Brothers saying, hey, people are just holding off buying. The NAIL had you in at $30.79. This one doesn't look great on the algorithm, but I will tell you this. The algorithm loses you 33%. Buying and holding loses you 29%. You have 29 positions over that 1,000 candles. 31% are wins. Your average win is 19%. And that 19%, when I looked at this, that's because here June 23rd, we had this buy-in at $23.85. It got you out with a 40% gain on August 22nd. So 2 months later, you made 40%. You probably could have made 50 easily. It's just the button hook happened. So it's an interesting one. But Sabuj, you are 100% right on that. China's opening up. LVS, which is Las Vegas Sands, huge. It's up big in pre-market. This one we had a buy-in October 28th at $36.60. I think you're probably looking at Let's look at Las Vegas Sands here, because I think you're looking at probably going back to 52-week highs if China is actually going to continue. But their 52-week high is 49.30. It's trading at 47. It's probably going to break that today, to be honest, with the move that is going to go up. So if we look at a weekly on this one, if you're looking at, okay, well, where am I, in relative respect? This is 2018 before the Janet Yellen kind of move, and you saw it just tank. Then you made a move, then you had COVID, and then you had 2021, and you've just been down. I think if this breaks above 50 and you're above that 200 day on the weekly, and again, I'm looking at a weekly. If you're above that 200 day, I think this gap at 62 to 66 comes into play, because if China is completely opening, and they are serious about opening, I think Las Vegas Sands is one that wins, because Macau will open up. Let's take a look at Wynn. Wynn, same kind of thing. You've just had this crazy run of Wynn up at 84. October 24th, you had a buy-in at 57.55. You've got gaps all the way down. But again, if China's opening up, Wynn, because of Macau, will win. Excuse the pun. One of the ones that somebody brought up earlier, and I said, you're crazy if you hold on to this one. We're having a button hook. Well, the algorithm got you back in. I said, if you're in at 5, get the hell out. You're at 7. That's a crazy good thing. Well, the algorithm did get you out, but it got you right back in at 8. You're at 10 now. If you're in this MLCO, which is Melco Resorts, it's a China stock. It's China stock for casino resorts in China, in Macau. This one is crazy. Let's go and look at the FinViz one, because I want to see where they are compared to their 52-week high. Their 52-week high is $11.81. So if China is really opening, MLCO could go to $11 easily. So you got another 10% in this one. If we look at a weekly on this one, let's look at a weekly. Yeah, do I think that 15's in play? Probably, if China's opening up. Yeah, I like it. So MLCO, whoever did that one, kudos to you. PDD, BABA, let's look at PDD, BABA, JD.com. They're all up today. You see that button hook, but it's going to continue to rise. Let's see what BABA is. BABA is up 4% pre-market, just what it lost yesterday. I have no idea why it went down yesterday, but Chinese stocks, good ones. Tesla. Let's just say Twitter is killing Tesla. Elon's focused on Twitter, and he's not focused on Tesla. And it came out today that bankers who he got money to buy Twitter from are looking at doing margin loans against his Twitter stock to try and fund more Twitter debt. You're looking at that 130, 138. If we go back here, I think it's, is it in the daily? Let me look. Hold on one second. Got to let the dog out. Ugh, dog's crying. Okay. You want to go out there? You want to go out there? Go on. At some point in time, I should probably edit these podcasts. Don't be scared, James. Christian, do not spread rumors. No. I think he just appointed the China head as the head of the Gigafactory in Texas. He will step down, by the way, and he said that, James. He will step down at some point in time when he feels it can run on its own. But if he does that, because all of his loans are based on the Tesla stock, he knows if he steps down as CEO of Tesla, his fortune gets cut in half. So he won't do it now. But okay, let me talk more about it. Okay, so let's pull this back. I let the dogs outside, and we're having a discussion on YouTube Live, just more about Tesla. But let me see. Can I get back? No, I can't get it. Let's go to the daily, because I think it may have been the daily that showed the gap back there between 130. And it was a while ago. There we go. See, there's the gap, and it is 137 to 142. So I think you start to see that this one is creeping down to those levels. There is no, let's see if we pull it back here to just before. There's no volume shelf there. People have bought here well after that. So you got no volume support level. You've got no kind of catalyst that's pushing it up. The month end, they'll do their quarter end deliveries. That's probably where you're looking at. But Tesla is in trouble. I wouldn't put more money into it. No doubt about it. They are having some issues. There's some insider Tesla stuff about cameras not being replaced, and maybe LiDAR is going to be part of the autopilot system. Blah, 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 whatever. But bigger news, Google is merging Google Maps and Waze teams. They're not merging the apps, they're merging the teams. Dangerous. Anybody that loves Waze, you're going to get screwed. Honest to God, it's you're going to get screwed. At some point in time, I think they take that, hey, speed trap us up here thing away. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that we've talked about this week. GMed. I think GMed was the one. Or no, RMed. RMed was the one. RA. Yeah, GMed was the one that, RMed was the one that someone brought up. Let's see where we're at on this one. Oh, it's still got confirmation. If you're in this one, it's still got confirmation. 308 right there. Yeah, you're up at 503. So I think you're moving towards that $6.37 where the 200-day is. I like that one. Again, I like that trade. BNGO, Bingo was his name-o. This is one that we had a $2.15 buy-in on the algorithm. You're at 218. I said you could go to the 200-day, which is at 228. The problem is you're having this death cross. And remember, the death cross is the 50, that blue line crossing the 200-day. If that happens, the last time that happened here, you saw it continue down a little bit, but then it shot up. So I think that's probably where I'd be looking at. Again, if you're in this one, I'm not in this one. I may trade this one as part of the charity challenge. I've had a lot of problems getting time. My time is precious these days. But REI, I do think James and I talked about this one yesterday. We think there's a double bottom coming in here. If you're down at the 2 probably 30 range, it does seem to have a button hook happening. I think if you close or even touch 248 today on REI, I think you're touching that 9-day. I think it's good. So I like that one. TQQQ, we talked about anything under 20, you should get into. It's trading at $20.65. Let me just check Active Trader Pro real quick. Let's see. TQQQ is trading at $20.64. Market just opened up, and it's got some red candles. Ooh, boy, that first candle looks ugly. But, yeah, TQQQ, I like that one. Anything under. Talked about Boyle. Boyle had a big run yesterday, and you're looking at a red candle today. Again, I think for me, if it touches that 9-day on the 4-hour, I'll probably wait till this afternoon to buy it. We were talking about this one, but I'll probably wait till this afternoon to buy it because I do see that kind of button hook. And if you're looking at the chart on YouTube, you really should look at this chart because you can clearly see that there's a button hook on the MACD. Doesn't mean that it's actually going to, cross up, but that RSI is at 36. It's just, natural gas is oversold. And so, I do think that you're moving between this 31.18 and 35. I think it covers that gap at some point in time. I do. So that's my take on BOIL. Armed, Melco, we went over. Bank of America, we went over. Wells Fargo, we went over. Google. Google, we need to go over. Goldman Sachs was the other one that I was talking about. Google, it got you out of GOOG. So if you're in GOOG at 88.55, the algorithm got you out. I say Google is a long-term buy. I don't think that it's a short-term buy. I think you're probably going to cover this gap between 88 and 92. So I think you might have a better time to buy it at some point in time. The RSI is kind of in no man's land at 38, but I like this one. There were two cross-ups that I found today, and these are stocks that are on runs. Well, the one is on a run. I think the other one is on a run too. But this one, Kraft Heinz Company, KHC is the symbol. You got into this one November 18th with a $37.88 buy. You're at $39.93 with a secondary cross up. The RSI is kind of high at 65. I don't know that I'd necessarily get into this one. At some point in time, I think you get back down to the $37 range. But it's got super, super strong movement. And what's interesting about this is the previous algorithm purchase on September 22nd got you out with a 10% gain, November 11th. The algorithm on this one makes you 24% over 1,000 candles with 23 positions. You win 43% of the time. Your average win is 6.6%. So this is a nice, steady, safe, hey, if I'm going to get into it, I'm going to get into it. If you just bought and held it, it made you 16%. But remember, that's 16% over what is almost half of a bear market. So it's been a good stock. The other one that crossed up is one I think Jesse had asked me about a while ago, and I put this in. Hershey. And you've got the ascending triangle. And God, it took off. It's trading at 241 right now. It was a cross up at 235 yesterday. If you didn't get in, you didn't get in. But it's got that ascending triangle. This one has all the confirmation in the world. Hershey is one. Let's see, HSY. They are hitting their 52-week highs at 241. Their 52-week low is only 31% at 180. It's got a huge PE of 36, 1.75% dividend. Year to date, you're up 22%. So that's all I've got. So I'm going to go back to YouTube Live. Sorry about all the interruptions, but 40 minutes, pretty good day. So if you have any questions, hit me up on the socials. Thank you, all the supporters. Thank you to everybody that tipped me. Cooper, thank you for the tip. He said that the Anchor monthly wasn't working. If it's not working for you, tip me on just, Venmo or Cash App or something like that, and just put a reminder in your calendar. If BOIL hits 180, 190, whatever Zephin's price target was, I expect monthly support checks to come, just like child support. Your daddy needs child support. But yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up on the socials. And thank you to everybody for listening. Rate the show. If you've made it this far, you like me. So go on to Apple Podcasts. I have on my Instagram, I have a reel that shows you how to rate me on Apple Podcasts. I only have 7 ratings, it says, on Apple Podcasts. It says, Anchor tells me 43% of you listen on Apple Podcasts. God. I mean, nobody's rating me on there. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, just go down to the bottom. Let me see what you do. I'll tell you exactly what you do. Let's go to podcasts. And then you're going to go to the bottom. You're going to go to library, because I'm assuming that you follow my show. And then you're going to hit shows. You're going to find my show in your library there. And you're just going to scroll to the bottom. Hit the 5-star. Just hit it. For some reason, some people rated me a 1. Those people probably didn't make it to the end. If you made it to the end, hit that rating. If you're on Spotify, which I think the majority of people are, it's right at the top. It's nice and easy. You can't write a review. You don't have to write a review on Apple either. If you want to write a review, I appreciate it. I'll give you a shout out. But Apple Podcasts, you should actually do that. Live Facebook, the private Facebook group. If you go to the link tree in the bottom of the episode description, there's a icon for Facebook up top, just below my picture. You can join us there. I think we're up to about 80 people or something. And again, I have thousands of people that listen to this every day. It's like pulling teeth with you people. I'm trying to, give you education. So yeah. If you guys have anything else to say, any suggestions, I'm open to. Just like Sabuj on YouTube. I mean, listen, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Just maybe I'm the luckiest guy in the room. That may be it. And I know how to talk, and I got 2 cute dogs, so I got that going for me. Okay, take care, you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Share, export song to disk. Export. You guys don't like me. F you, James. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go over here. You guys, I was looking down the whole time, wondering, is Boyle taking off? It's just capitulating. Here's what I think about Boyle. I kind of said it, 5 minutes ago? I think if you can get this under 30, you're in. Anything close to 30. It doesn't have confirmation on the 5 minute right now. And look, the volume. Well, I should go over here. Hold on. So it doesn't have confirmation here. It depends on if you're scalping or if you're trying to, That pre-market up here at 31, and then it dropped down. Let's look at KOLD. See, KOLD has the confirmation above that 9-day. But it's, listen, KOLD is trading between today's range is 1868 to 1895. Come on. Don't freak out. And Boyle is between $30.04 and $30.45. I'd look at getting it below 30. It's Thursday, so remember, you don't hold through the weekend on this one. Although I will tell you, just with the levels that we're at, you don't know what kind of deal's going to get done. Look at the 10-day volume. 10,872,000. Yeah. Okay, right here. Right in the middle of your screen, right above my head, there's a 10-day volume and a 90-day volume. 10-day volume, 10,872,000. 90-day volume, 4,323,000. This thing is getting traded up. People are interested in it. But you're in this range. I think $30 your pivot point. Dude, if I sell Apple, man, my tax bill will be, I can't afford that. If I sell my Apple, what is it? I think it's 40%. Anything over $400,000, you pay 40% in capital gains, I think. Below $400,000 is 20%. Hold on. Let's Google that. Am I on Active Trader Pro? Yeah, I'm on Active Trader Pro. I'm going to Google it. Capital gains tax rates. Okay, capital gains. There we go. So, I guess it's only... Oh, no, it's 0, 15, and 20. FYI, just so you guys are aware, I'm in the 0% tax rate. That's how poor I am. Not poor, I don't make money. So this is all long term. So essentially, Cooper, understanding capital gains, your short term trades fall under short term capital gains, and that's based on your income. So you would pay normal income rates for any short term trade. So anything less than a year, say for instance, and remember, tax rates are marginal. So there's 0 to 20,000, you pay one rate. 20,000 to 40,000, you pay another rate. 40,000 to 60,000, you pay another rate. Capital gains are taxed at the highest income rate that you're at. So, for instance, if you're making between 100 and 140,000, I think that highest tax rate is like 20% or 23%. That's what you would pay on a short-term trade. Long-term capital gains rates are either 0%, and I'm just going on single here. It differs if you're married or filing as head of household or filing separately. But 0 to $41,675. If that's your total adjusted gross income, you pay 0% on any trade that you have long-term capital gains on. If you make between $41,000 and $459,000, your adjusted gross income, your tax rate for capital gains is 15%. Anything over $459,000, you're paying 20% on long-term capital gains. So the NerdWallet has a calculator that you can go out there and use to figure it out. It's your total taxable income, including the capital gains. So say, for instance, I make, just to make the math easy, I make $20,000 a year. And then I sell $20,000 worth of stock. I'm at $40,000 in total taxable income. And so it's not adjusted. It's total taxable income. So you can't write it down, unfortunately. What's BOIL at? Let's see. Dude, isn't that feeling when the stock goes up the best? I am going to go to Anchor. And I'm going to quit my GarageBand. It was only a 42-minute podcast today. New episode. Browse. Desktop. We're going to insert an ad. I don't know if I'm ever going to get an ad back. Peacoat. Oh, come on. We're going to go up there. Okay, did somebody else subscribe or something? I got a new subscriber. 7 minutes ago. Miguel, welcome. I got an alert. Where are you guys at? Hold on, check it out. Closer to 30 was the buy. Never hit that $30 range though. In pre-market, it hit. That's the 8 o'clock? Yeah, that's the 8 o'clock one. It got down to 29.11 at 8:05. Cooper, man, I don't mean to talk you out of some of those names. You should have a portion of your portfolio in those names. Just be careful. I mean, God, no matter what anybody tells you, nobody has traded in times like this. It's a recession. I mean, we're heading into a recession. We haven't had one of these extended. Nobody's managed money in these. 2008, it lasted what? A couple months. Save episode. Okay. What should I title this one? Which candle? Are you looking at Boyle? We're going on a run. It's got the confirmation above that 9-day. We're going on a run. High five to James and Zephin for buying Boyle. So here. So the way this candle works, you've got that left tick on the left. You got the right tick up there on the right. The left is the open, the right is the close. And you've got green, so it closed higher. The candles, you can tell a lot from the candles. This one, the left tick, it was kind of opened and closed at the same one, so it was lower. This one, it was lower. This one, it was lower. This one, it was higher, and it closed above those moving averages in the VWAP. And now you're above the Bollinger Band. Boom. This one's a 5-minute chart, Zephin. I'm not on a 2-minute chart. Yeah, you're hitting that 31. I'm telling you, you're going on a run now. It's above that Bollinger Band. What are we at? 952. I think it's 955. It'll close. This candle will close. If you close above that Bollinger Band, the next one should be a pretty good run candle too. Let me go back to posting my bank stocks and market update 12/8/22. Why did I think today was the 9th? I keep looking back at the... Yeah, see, 31, it's above that Bollinger Band on the 5-minute chart. Below 31, you're kind of questioning whether... But there's this volume shelf up here that is... It's not showing me the price. I can't move it. There we go. It moved up. So between $30.85 and $30.94, that's the volume shelf that's really building. If you close above 31 on the 5-minute chart, I think you're good. It's struggling to get there. But this is what I hate about fucking day trading, guys. I hate sitting here and watching charts. That's why I got the algorithm. Wow. We'll get back to Boyle, but look at Express. Look at Express. Up 59% today. Look at this stock. Are you going to $3? Let me look up on FinViz what happened. Oh. Express and WHP Global enter mutually transformative strategic partnership. Something happened, man. Their earnings sucked. But let me go back to Boyle. So, by the way, just so everyone's aware, and I'm fully disclosing this, somebody hit me up last night about Webull, and they were switching from buying stocks in Cash App. I don't think buying stocks in Cash App or anything that's not a brokerage firm is not smart. If you're really into investing and you're really looking at things, 31.19, you guys are set. This is going 35 today. I think you're going to 35. Mullen. I know Mullen. Mullen's ugly. Mullen's all hype, by the way, Cooper. If you're making money on it, it's all hype. Here. It's all hype. 100% hype. This was where they said they were getting into a partnership or something when it was trading up here. It's all hype. It's going to zero. Let's look at the 1 minute on Boyle. I like trading on the 5 minute, but Boyle on the 1 minute. Yeah, look. Look at that 1 minute. You're still up there. Yeah, James. The right side, which is the close side, you opened up below that Bollinger Band, but those Bollinger Bands are expanding. And this is maybe the candle that you close outside the Bollinger Bands, which would indicate more of a run. Kudos to you guys who got into that one. I wish I didn't have to do this damn podcast. I need to do the support podcast for Venmo. I think that's what I'll do, is probably change that link out. Take my notes. I need to reply back to I like WFC, BAC. Stefan, what do you do for a job? And if you don't want to say, don't say. But I don't even know what you do. I know you're up at like 4 freaking in the morning and stuff. And I know you're still a kid. If anybody wants to say what they do for a job, I'd love to hear it. There's 15 people watching, and I know most people are probably at work. BAC, Mike to do UBT, Nugget. I'm going to take Cooper's name out of the description. Do copy. Dollar. my dad to the gym. GOG. Scans. We're going to put scans in. And we're going to bold that. Biomed, Jesus. Smarter than I am, Zephyr. Cooper, commercial, man. Bank, Cooper, bank. I know commercial real estate. Get out of the financing and just buy commercial real estate, Cooper. You got your oh, Miguel, man. See, you guys have all of this great background. See, I need you guys. This is where community comes in. No insider trading. Don't do insider trading, but find out stuff, man. Do some research. Miguel, if you're in the billing department of Wellstar, F you. I went for a annual checkup, and I have Obamacare insurance. That's if you're in the insurance industry or know anything. So I go for my annual checkup. Tell the doctor, hey, I got a bill for, the last time I did this. He's like, we'll do something. You won't get a bill. What happens? I get a bill. You go to the doctor. The doctor says, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. And you know what the bill was for? It was my annual checkup. They charged me the actual tests, like cholesterol. I think he only did cholesterol and some lipid tests, like standard stuff. But the actual tests are covered under the annual checkup. But what's not covered is actually taking the blood. So, Cooper, if you're in a private company, man, get some points so you get some ownership stake. You'll make bank. And Cooper, you should be listening to My First Millions podcast. Those guys, masters of, hey, if you've got ownership and you go public, they tell their own stories about companies that they took public themselves. And they have other people who take stuff. James, man, don't trigger me. Don't trigger me, James. That was a bad day when my Apple Watch said I was fat. Did it say I was fat? Yeah, it did. It did. Hey, you've gained 9 pounds over the last 30 days. Oh, you're from Mexico. I love Mexico, Miguel. My friend's wife is from Mexico City. I don't blend in very well, and they're always afraid that I'm going to get kidnapped if I go down there. Okay, let me see. We'll publish this. I think I'll just publish it. Let me go back and check on Boyle. Oh, it lost it. It lost it. Oh, it lost it. The current candle is going to close in 1 minute. It lost it. Hasn't lost it completely. A candle like that is pretty healthy, to be honest with you. But let me look at the 1 minute. See, here's what you do. You're going to have runs like this on the 1 minute, probably all day, I would think. The Bollinger Bands are cinching up, so at some point they're going to cinch up. This one kind of below the 200-day, the 21-day right there. As these cinch up, you can see it moves. and it either moves up or it moves down. This one moved down. This one moved up. Kind of it's in this range here, and they cinched up, and then it moved up. I think BOIL has the move. I used to go, it was funny because I used to live in Southern California, Miguel, and I would go to Tijuana a lot, and I loved it down there. I love Mexico. Let me go and episodes. We're going to take this, and we're going to copy. And then we're going to do this. Wow. Oh, man. BAC. Mike Mayo, by the way. Great analyst from Wells Fargo, actually was talking positively about Bank of America with a price target of $50. He lowered his price target from 55 to 50. I'm gonna put in all of these stocks from Cooper. I hope my ADD Cooper didn't get into bad when I was talking about your email. And I should, by the way, tell you, Cooper, just because a stock was at one price doesn't mean it will go there again. So when you're looking at like Cyber, SCYBR, just because it was up, don't think that it's going to go back there again. We're going to put BABA in here as well. Tesla stock, we'll put that in. We got Google. GMed. I don't know why I put GMed in there. It was probably something else. RMed. MLCO is already taken. BAC is already in there. Wells Fargo is already in there. Goldman Sachs. We have to. We're going to take this. Okay. We'll tweet that. And then we're going to go to Twitter again. And we're going to type in Goldman Sachs, Google, KFC. Oh, why do I say KHC is KFC? HSY. Then I'm going to go back over here to this. We're going to type in EXPR. God, I wish I would have. SQQQ, PHVS, SOXL, FXI, CVNA. We're going to put SPY in there too. NEO, Amazon, SMMT, LabU, XPEV, Billy is another one. I know I brought that up. Cano, that's an EV. AMD, we did. AMC, Apple, IQ, NVIDIA, KWeb, QQQ, XLF, RIG. We're going to take some out of this one. We're going to take RIG. XLE. I need one more taken out. Just remove that. There we go. And I need. There we go. Tweet. Okay, let me get out of there. Get out of there. I'm gonna close that down. Okay. Yeah, Tesla. I think Tesla continues here. I'll show you Tesla. Let's move back. Oh, I don't want that. Move back to Safari. So Tesla, here's the problem with Tesla, and this is what everybody says. The PE is 53, the forward PE is 30. Earnings per share this year growing 669%. They're only expected to grow 40% next year. That's where you're getting into a problem. 402 is the 52-week range, 52-week high. You're only 3% above your 52-week low of 168. I think you're heading back down to that one. November 23rd, this is a $176 price target. They took it up, but they took the price target down. Well, I shouldn't say down. They were low. It's just, Tesla, as long as he's doing Twitter, he's going to fuck with that. Meta, I think Meta actually has an opportunity to get back to where it was. I think Meta's, in all honesty, I want to see the next quarter, because if he winds up spending rather than $10 billion on Metaverse and winds up spending $1 billion, then I think you're looking at a stock that's probably closer to 200. At some point in time, you are going to go back. Remember, this is the big drop here. This was from 320 to 251. That's what set up. This was in February. That's what set up this entire slide. And if he gets back and starts focusing on actual Facebook products, meaning Instagram and Facebook and the social media stuff, and if there's some type of tracking that they can do, and they figure out this mess, and then the Paramount global CEO said it yesterday. We've been through recessions with advertising before, but you know what? It always comes back. So the companies that will be able to make it through that recession, they're gonna come out stronger. My neighbor about the package, he's like, this will never be spoken of again. I tend to agree with you. Here's the problem, James, with Meta. You've got the opportunity to fill this gap up to 129, and I do think the opportunity is there because you've started to fill it. But you've got this newly formed gap down here, and it's a volume shelf as well. Let me make sure I've got the volume pulled over to the right place. Let's pull it back to where it touched the 200-day. Back here, August. And so when we're looking at volume shelves, there's this one, which is forming right at about where it is right now, 114. And then there's this one at 102. And I think that one, when you get down here to the $96, I think you could break 100 now. Let's go back and watch your boil. I like watching you guys trade. On the 1 minute, it's got all the confirmation in the world. No, I don't want 2 day. I want 5 minute. I don't know where to click to bring this down in here. Is it here? No. Is it here? No. Is it here? Ah, there we go. Okay. Well, where's that? Okay, that'll move it that way. And then, do I click here? That'll move it. But how do I move it down? Dude, I haven't YOLO'd Boyle. I haven't YOLO'd Boyle in a while. I think it was June I YOLO'd Boyle. Yeah. Go back. That's just September. That is July. Let's see year to date. This is, yeah, I think it was June. I think it was this one. I think it was right here, June 1st. I YOLO'd it for a few days, and then it sank. I got out with not a huge one. It was gain. Wasn't great. But I could have sworn it was going to go way higher. I'm trying to figure out how do I get this to go down. There we go. There we go. I got it. I grabbed it. Good. Zephyr, man. 120. You're above the Bollinger Bands again on the 5 minute. I mean, you're staying above the 9 day. So there's no reason to actually get out at all, even though you have red candles. If this one, it's funny because had this candle was large, and then had this candle, this red candle, kind of opened up here and then closed down here where it was still above here. And then this one, it's called a triple bar. Here, let's go. I'm going to go over here. We're going to go to YouTube. And I used to trade on this one. Triple bar. I think it's triple bar. 3 bar play. How to make $100 per day. Here, I'm going to post this one. Can I share? No. I got to go into it to share.
In this video, you are going to learn the actionable steps on how...
Let's share. It's a good day trading. But you got to sit there and you got to watch the charts all day. That's what I don't like. I don't like having to sit there and watch the charts all day. Let's see. We'll put this out on Twitter. Trading. And I'm going to get off here pretty soon too. I'll just tweet that out. what the hell. Hey, Joe, what's up? It's a good strategy. And he goes over kind of how to identify the bars. And boy, that's not a flattering shot at Charlie. We'll get off that one. Let's go back to Boyle. That's it. Back inside the Bollinger Bands. I think 31 is a pretty good level of support right now. Because you got this $30.90 to $31.09 up there. I should start a Discord chat so you guys can stay on here and stuff. Express lost its run. Oh, look at that. And this one's up too, by the way. 3%. Look at that run. And let me see. Okay, indices check. And then I got to go shower. I made back what I lost yesterday. I'm up 1.1%. Today will be up, by the way. It just will be. So I'm beating all the indices. But that's because Apple. I mean, Apple rules my... Let's see. Apple probably 1.9%, 1.29%. Amazon's up 2%. All the ARCs are up 2%. Baba's up 5%. DraftKings. We had a DraftKings shout out yesterday. Snowflake's up 3%. Exxon's up 2%. That triple bar one that I just posted is really good, though. I like it. Boyle's not even in the top. Nvidia's up, what, 2%? You know what I got to look at? Let's look at you, VIXy. Because the futures of the VIX are not going well. Down 1%. I still think this one gets to over 10. But you can't be greedy. You just can't be greedy. Okay. I've been on here an hour. I'm going to stop. I'll be back on tomorrow. Thanks you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being chatty too. I appreciate it. Makes it far less like I'm talking to myself. So, then yeah, wada. I got to thank you for that one. Wada. I didn't do it this morning though, but I'll do it again tomorrow. Let's just put in a title and we're going to put in Friday. Then we've got our stocks there. We'll quit the notes. Okay. I'm out. Fellas, ladies, it has been a pleasure. Ed, DXCM. You know, before I go, let me look at Ed, I think you're YOLOing on the That's an interesting one. Just got you out of a 37% gain. What do they do? Oh, look at that PE though, Ed. You're YOLOing stuff. Barclays, $103 price target. You're at 124. These guys had a $500 price target back in March. Clear's next-gen diabetes device. Yeah, James, like the video. Like and subscribe. Dexcom is an interesting one. I think I've heard this name before. It's Medcare, so I don't know too much about it. But let's take a look. It looks like it has been just... look at the weekly. That was clear. Look at that weekly at 79. That's June of this year. God, and that weekly chart you should have known. I need to start doing an algorithm on a weekly. Meta's up 1.52%, by the way. Still in at $95 price. That $95 buy was perfect. Right below this gap. God, that's nice.